What's going on, people? And welcome to United by Numbers. We got the Statman back in the house, bro. Man, still got the ISIS hostage bloody camera blood.
Hey, the comments, leave me alone.
But yeah, but man, we're gonna get it sorted though. It looked like a hostage video, but bruv, like I can assure you, he's at home safe, blood. So it's all good. What you saying though, bro?
Obviously disappointed after yesterday. I wanted the FA Cup final. Ollie bottled it.
Yeah, I wanted the FA Cup final against Arsenal. I think that would have been the Twitter Championships, bro. That's where we would have been able to face off with the Gooners, bro. It would have been the clash of the Titans on Twitter, but it wasn't to be, bro. It was a poor performance, but a predictable performance from when I saw the lineup, bro. I pretty much knew exactly how we were going to play, and I just knew it wasn't really going to be good enough. It's unfortunate, man. But oh, bro, I see you done a post about Harry Maguire as well on Instagram, bro. And what can we say about Harry? We just need to start with Harry's numbers. They were absolutely atrocious, yeah. And I just don't even know, bro. Like I found that it's funny how it goes escaped, like unmentioned by the commentary. This is Manchester United captain, England vice captain, and it's one of the worst performances I've seen, yeah, in a cup semi-final, probably for Manchester United ever, man. And it just hasn't been mentioned, but the numbers are
Finn, one of the things that we said about the numbers is that at least he wins something in the air. You look at the numbers now, he doesn't even do that. Like Lindelof was outperforming him in the air, which is a surprise.
Bruv, you know what I mean? Like 87.3% pass accuracy, whatever really. The fact that he had 82 touches in the game tells you just how much of the ball Manchester United had in the defensive third, bro. Like there was no penetration whatsoever with the passing. It was all just possession for possession's sake, which we kind of thought it would be when we saw we were playing at five at the back. Our five at the back is rubbish, isn't it? Like, yeah, we beat City and all these other things, but the reason why Arteta gets praised for the three at the back and Oli doesn't is because of the manner in which they play the football in that formation. Like ours is literally set up to allow the other team to have all the possession and just try and hit them with a sucker punch. That's not how top football teams are supposed to behave.
I don't know if you saw Frank Lampard's news conference after the game. He's like, we worked on making this a three at the back, not five at the back. Yeah. With us, it was literally a five at the back with Wan-Bissaka and Williams. Like you could see from the average positioning how like low they were compared to the Chelsea's wing back.
Yeah, you know what? Let's get the average positions up now because that's a great shout. Because when we are talking about United's clean sheet record and how many goals we haven't conceded, etc., a lot of them games were with five at the back. Let's not call it a three at the back because when Manchester United play it, it's not three at the back. It's a five, innit? It's a very clear five. As we can see, when we put up the graphs, you've got exactly what I said. You've got Lindelof, you've got Bailly, and you've got Maguire. Maguire and Lindelof are pretty much on top of each other. And then you've got Fred, Matic, Williams, and Wan-Bissaka almost in a line. So we played with seven at the back for the majority of the game.
And that's what it was against Man City when we beat them as well.
Exactly. And this is what I was saying, but I never had the numbers before, really. And I said a lot of the times we had clean sheets because we had seven players at the back. Fred very rarely getting past the halfway line. Same with Matic. And if you look at the average positions, like it's only Bruno, Rashford, and Dan James whose average positions aren't in our half, bro.
And I think if you look at Chelsea's one, if you want to put that up, Kovacic and Jorginho are literally on the halfway line.
Yeah, we'll get Chelsea.
James and Marcus Alonso are past the halfway line. They literally played three at the back. We played five at the back, and that just shocks you from what you think.
You look at their fullbacks' average positions are in our half.
Yeah.
That's a true 3-4-3 formation. We were playing seven at the back.
And I'm not using this as an excuse here, but we did play Thursday. We probably had a rest day on Friday. So Oli only had really Saturday to work on the shape. So why are you going to change it when the last time we played it was March? So 4 months, we haven't played this formation. So why do that?
Because he bottled it, bro. That's why. There's no other reason for it. Regardless of whether Chelsea were going to play that shape or not, when we went on that run, where we were beating City, etc., we were playing that formation week in, week out consistently for at least a month. So because of that, the players were into the shape, knew what their jobs were. We haven't played that role in a very long time. Why would you revert to something that Chelsea are more comfortable with at the expense of your own team? Like, that's a very small club mentality. He set us up like we were a championship team that drew Chelsea in the FA Cup. I mean, it looked like he set us up not to lose instead of to win the game. I mean, and he paid the price.
And it baffles me because like we've been performing well in the 4 at the back. Like we've been scoring goals. So why are you going to do it? Like, we're Manchester United. Focus on yourselves first.
There you go, bro. And then you look at the aerial duels for Harry Maguire. That's something that he's supposed to be good at. 50% aerial duels won, 50% ground balls won. He was 50%, 50-50 was about the state of his performance. 10 times possession lost, but it's not necessarily the fact that he lost possession, is how and where he lost possession. There was one instance, the video's going around now of him doing 360 turns and then tries to play a long ball and gives it away. Like, the guy had an absolute stinker. 5 out of 9 long balls completed, 2 shots blocked, 1 clearance, dribble pass once, 1 big chance missed as well. He's meant to be slab-head, yeah, because he's so good in the air, yeah. But bruv, he's only got what, 1-headed goal for us or something like that?
1 goal in the league. I think he scored 2 goals in the FA Cup.
Yeah, some joke business, bruv. He got an own goal as well on top of that. No tackles and no interceptions as a centre back. He didn't win a single tackle or interception as a centre half in the game, and none of the commentary picked up on it. That's terrible.
We're going to get on to Dan James. Dan James made more tackles and interceptions than both Lindelof and Maguire.
There you go, man. Dan James had a stinker. Bruv, and Dan James had a stinker. And then we compare Wan-Bissaka and Brandon Williams, who both of whom didn't have great games, bro. They didn't have great games at all, bro. I don't know what it is with Wan-Bissaka like recently. It's almost like since after the break here, he hasn't rediscovered his form, bro.
I think back in even Maguire and Wan-Bissaka, they play every single game. Every single minute, every single game. They're never given a rest. And with Wan-Bissaka yesterday, Chelsea targeted. Like, you saw Marcus Alonso, they were pressing onto him because they know technically he's a poor footballer. Yep. He's a great defender, but poor footballer. And we saw that yesterday.
We did indeed. 71% pass accuracy, which is terrible for a fullback. You know what I mean? 80% for Brandon Williams. And then touches, he actually had a lot less touches than Brandon. A lot of our attacks, most of our attacks were actually coming down the left-hand side, which they always kind of do anyway. So Brandon had way more touches of the ball. And that's why it kind of looked like Brandon was worse. But it's because he had more of the ball and he had less of an output in terms of going forward. People, like, we've known him as this attacking fullback, and going forward, he didn't offer anything. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's also the right-footed left-back passing across the box thing. It's not ideal. Do you know what I'm saying? So 74 touches for Brandon. Ground duels, 1 out of 3, 1 for Wan-Bissaka. 5 out of 9, 1 for Brandon Williams. And then aerial duels, 0 from 1 for Wan-Bissaka, 1 from 1 for Brandon. Possession lost 13 and 14 respectively. Ball recoveries, 3 for Wan-Bissaka, 6 for Brandon Williams. Dribbles completed, 0 from 1. And then 2 from 4 for Brandon Williams. Chances created, 1 from Wan-Bissaka, none from Brandon Williams. 1 interception from Wan-Bissaka, 2 from Brandon Williams. And it's just like, bro, like both dribble past once. Brandon Williams conceded a foul, Wan-Bissaka didn't. Errors leading to goal, 1-0, Brandon Williams up again, bro. 2 performances. Brandon Williams was playing with a black eye. I don't know why Oli started him for the life of me, bro. Like, if man's playing with a visible black eye, yeah, and they were saying that he was struggling with sight and this, that, and the other, why the hell didn't he just play Fosu Mensah again? Fosu Mensah ain't played football, yeah, in so long that he can play 2 games.
I think it's kind of what Oli does, though, because I don't think you might have seen it, but the Athletic made a report saying Maguire been playing with painkillers like before the lockdown. So he's not really good at managing these days. Like, he just plays it throughout injury, and he's kind of like the old school mentality. Oh, even if he's injured, just carry on. You're playing for the badge, kind of thing. But sometimes you just have to take these players out of the starting 11, just bench them. If they're not fit, don't play them.
Yeah, Maguire's been playing through injury for a while. I remember when he had a 5 strain, yeah, and then the next game he was playing again, and it's like, it's a joke. That's why we have a squad, and that's why when I looked at it and I saw Lingard weren't even on the bench, I was like, bruv, we have a squad for a reason. Oli don't know about rotation, bruv. Paul Pogba needed 2 surgeries because of Oli's poor management. You know what I'm saying? And Marcus Rashford, his season was pretty much nearly over because of his poor management. Rashford's another player that didn't get enough rest. Wan-Bissaka, you're right, never gets enough rest. Bloody Harry Maguire plays every match, bro, even in the League Cup.
He's played every single minute of every single Premier League game.
There you go, innit? So maybe some of his form is down to the manager as well. People want to give him praise for his man management, but I tell you what, his player management in terms of fitness and that, like, it leaves a lot to be desired, bro. There's a lot of questions that need to be asked from him, bro, because people are saying, oh, maybe Harry Maguire was playing with a concussion. I don't think he was, but at the same time, if he was, again, why didn't the manager just take him off?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
I don't think he was playing with a concussion, but you could tell that injury affected him.
Yeah. I just think that
he was winning his duels against Giroud. After that, like, Giroud got the better of him.
I just think he was hurt. I don't think he was concussed. I think that he was more reluctant to put his head on things. Do you know what I mean? Because he'd had a clash of heads, bro. But either way, it's poor management, bro. Take him off if you feel like he's out of sorts, brother. So take him off and save him for the next game on Wednesday that really matters. You know what I mean? This whole playing through pain crap here, like, it's not going to do the club no favours in the long run, innit? You know what I mean? It could have ended Marcus Rashford's career, bro. Then back injuries ain't a joke. I mean, we're lucky that he came back, but again, Marcus Rashford's been overplayed even since he's come back. Like, even when Rashford's form wasn't good in the first 3 or 4 games, just kept letting man play through it. And I don't know, bro. Like, it's not a good look still. Rashford's numbers against Chelsea: 79 minutes played, 81.8% pass accuracy, only 29 touches, but 6 from 8 final third passes complete. Only 1 touch in the opposition box. No shots on target. Lost possession 7 times. 1 a foul. No dribbles completed. It was an underwhelming game from Rashford, but what would you really expect, bro? Man was feeding off.
I put that down to the system. I put that down to the system.
Absolutely.
I put Rashford down to the system. Like, he struggled. You could tell. Like, not just Rashford, even Dan James. Like, this is what I say about Oli. These players haven't played in a long time. So why are you putting them into a new system? Just like, when we see Fred, when we see Brandon Williams, when we see Dan James come on, is in the forward and back. They're not comfortable at all because they haven't played in a long time, but at least they're more suited and more comfortable playing forward and back.
Yeah.
But Oli just didn't help the players yesterday.
He didn't. I felt like he hung them out to dry yesterday, innit? Loads of people were saying, oh, like, it's not the manager's fault if the players aren't playing well, but bro, play to their strengths, innit? That's the least you could do, brother. I felt like players like Dan James, as much as he's rubbish, yeah, you don't do him any favours playing him up front with Marcus Rashford, bro. The two of them aren't good at holding the ball anyway, and there's no one to build through the midfield. We're just going long into these guys and they're chasing scraps, bro. Like, I just thought the system was set up that they were never going to be successful in that system, bro. Like, none of it made sense to me yesterday.
And looking at Chelsea, they got 2 very good midfielders on the ball, in Jorginho and Kovacic. So they were going to keep the ball no matter what. I'm not sure about the possession numbers, but I'm guarantee you Chelsea have more of the possession.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as, if we're not going to have possession, at least once we get the ball out, get someone to hold the ball up. Martial, Igalo, do that. Rashford, I love Rashford, but he's not a striker. He can't hold the ball up. Dan James is Dan James, really. He can't do that. So,
but this is what we were saying in the preview, bro. Like, when you look at the 2 strikers, normally when you have a strike partnership, you have one that goes short, one goes long. It's all called, it's a partnership. Do you know what I'm saying? The same way with centre halves, you have a partnership. You have someone that attacks the ball, someone that sweeps. That's how it always works. And usually the person that sweeps, has a bit more recovery pace just in case it's needed. We don't have no one. Who's the sweeper out of Maguire and Lindelof? You know what I'm saying? Lindelof's meant to be the sweeper. I mean, Lindelof's meant to be the sweeper, but he ain't really that quick either. You know what I mean? Like, it's that the whole thing's a shit show. And when you look at James and Rashford, that partnership was never going to bear fruit, bro. Do you know what I mean? When you look at them stylistically, like, they're all wrong for each other. And again, that's down to the manager. And that's why I questioned his, like, what he was using to sign players, bro. Because usually you sign players with a system in mind, innit? And a style of play in mind. I feel like in signing a Wan-Bissaka, who's not an attacking right back, if you wanted to be this counter-attacking team that are quick, do you know what I mean, good on the ball, applying loads of pressure, you don't sign a right back with his qualities. It doesn't make sense. If you want to sign a partner for Victor Lindelof, you don't sign Harry Maguire because their qualities don't complement each other. Dan James, that was just a shot in the dark, innit? He probably just don't compliment no one. Do you know what I mean? And then we're moving on to Bruno now. With the way that Oli wants to play again, yeah, like even the Bruno signing, yeah, like it don't really make sense, bro. If you actually look at his attributes and his characteristics and you compare them to Pogba's and you compare them to Matic's, like again, the balance isn't quite right, bro. I thought the balance would have been better when on paper, but now actually seeing them together and seeing how Bruno plays, yeah, like it's all wrong for Pogba, like it's all wrong for him, bro.
But I think that's just down to Oli because, like we see in the previous game, Bruno's just so high up. You're leaving Pogba exposed. You're leaving Matic exposed or McTominay. Like it's just up to Oli. Just look at the game. You know what's going wrong. Tell like what I said last time. Tell Bruno drop 10, 15 yards back. Help the midfielder, and he's not doing it. He's not affecting the game from the sideline, and that's what you want from a manager.
Yep. But then when you've got a player like Bruno, you probably need two defensive-minded players in the pivot. Because Bruno don't play like an 8. Do you know what I mean? It's not like when people are saying, oh, why can't we play with 2 8s with Bruno and Pogba? Bruno don't play like an 8, bro. Like when you look at his average position, that is not the average position of a number 8. He plays like a false 9, bro.
I personally think he can play as an 8, but it's just up to Oli. Tell him to stay in that role because I think everyone says it right now. Bruno FC, it literally is that. Bruno does what he wants, and no one's telling him to do otherwise.
Yep. This is it, bro. Bruno put in another one of his 72% masterclasses. You know what I mean? Which he tends to do every week now. It looks like 79 touches, so he had a decent amount of the ball. Only 21 out of 34 final third passes completed. 21 times lost possession. Gave the ball away a hell of a lot of time. And the thing is with me, yeah, I don't mind players giving the ball away. Like, it comes with territory. But you see when players give the ball away doing stupid things, like, that annoys me, innit? Like, no matter who they are. If you're doing little flicks, yeah, when the flicks aren't needed, yeah, or, like, playing passes that aren't on, the one thing, as much as I love Bruno and love, like, his enthusiasm, sometimes, yeah, passes are just not on, and it's all right to just play the simple pass. You don't always have to try and force the door down. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, if the door's not open, don't try and force it.
I think even if we're looking at Kevin De Bruyne gives the ball away a similar amount of time to Bruno. But the thing with Kevin De Bruyne is that when he gives the ball away, it's not him doing silly flicks behind him or something. It's him actually trying to create a chance. Like, it's frustrating with Bruno sometimes.
It is, absolutely. And that's what I mean. And again, that's not man saying we don't like him in that, because the funny thing is with these guys, they love agendas, innit? They're like, oh, you criticize a player, all of a sudden you've got an agenda. No, bro. Like, it's an observation that if you're looking at the way this guy plays, yeah, like, you're just looking at it from a neutral perspective. There's loads of times he gives the ball away where it just wasn't even needed, bro. Like, the pass that he was trying to make was never getting there. Like, never. It's almost unintelligent the way sometimes he just gives the ball away. It just doesn't make sense.
I think even yesterday, some of the passes that were on, he just couldn't play them. Like, I think there was one point where Martial was through and he just gave it through.
Rough. It is what it is, innit? Like, obviously, again, that's what I'm saying. When you're buying players to fit in the system, you need to have the system first. Yeah. I think that Ollie's buying players without a system. Do you know what I mean? And I think that it's dangerous, isn't it?
You just focus on everything, just kicks.
Yeah, it's very much in hope. 11 out of 16 long balls completed, 6 ball recoveries, 2 shots, both on target, 2 chances created, 1 big chance created, 2 touches in the opposition box, and obviously he scored the penalty as well. So that's what I mean. At the business end, 2 shots both on target, 3 chances created, a big chance created. He's still creating chances. But as we said before, it's a numbers game with him. Do you know what I'm saying? It's a numbers game, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because if he keeps trying, eventually, of course, you know what I mean? If you keep knocking on the door, eventually it's going to fall down, bro. But against a team like Chelsea, who keep the ball very well, and it's a problem, bro, when you're under pressure, when you've got someone that's constantly giving the ball away, bro. Do you know what I mean? And this is why the system just didn't suit us yesterday. We'd have been better off going with the 4-3-3 or the 4-2-3-1, whatever man wants to call it. And then, do you know what I mean? We go from there. The whole 7 at the back thing, yeah, it was, you just don't invite pressure.
I think one of the things about a chance creates that is that, you know, when you put in a corner and someone headers it, that counts as a chance created, even though there's probably like a low chance of you actually scoring it. So sometimes Bruno's numbers do look inflated because of that.
Oh, for sure, because I don't remember him putting through no one on goal yesterday, but he took a few corners. You know what I mean? So this is it. Like, there was one chance that he could have played man through, and he overhit it, and that's something that he does quite a bit as well. I think his weight of passing it leaves a lot to be desired sometimes, and that's why when I see the Kevin De Bruyne comparison, Kevin De Bruyne's weight of pass is a lot better. Do you know what I'm saying? I think his range of passing is also a lot better. I think short to middle. I wouldn't even say middle. I'd say short. Bruno's short passing is very good, isn't it? Middle distance is iffy. Long distance is nothing to shout about, isn't it? I just think that Kevin De Bruyne's range of passing from long to middle to short is just better. But I just think that Bruno's more goal hungry, innit? He reminds me of Lampard in that sense, where he just wants to score goals, innit? He's got the attitude of a centre forward, even though he's a midfielder, bro. Like, you can tell that he lives for scoring goals. Dan James, the infamous Dan James, blood. 76.9% pass accuracy. 24 touches, lost the ball 9 times out of 24. You know what I'm saying? So if you man are good at maths, then you know, yeah, it's like every third time he touched the ball, yeah, he gave it away. Mad thing. No shots, no dribbles completed, 1 foul, one tackle, 1 interception. This is Ollie's defensive winger, bruv. The best defensive winger in the league.
No, but I have to be fair. I said the same thing about Rashford. The system didn't help.
The system didn't help, but he's crap. There was one ball that someone, I think it might have been Bruno, slid man in on the edge of the box, yeah? And he just needed to control it and turn onto it, and he's into the box, bro, and it's just bounced off his foot. And I thought, bruv, you can't even control a football. Like, it's not like you've been called upon X amount of times in the game, bro. You've been so available, bruv, because Chelsea have had all the balls, so it's not like you're tired.
And you say the defensive winger thing, just look at his average positioning. It was actually the highest out of all the players that played.
Bruv, he was hiding, that's why. He was hiding in that game, bruv. We just carried him. He was hiding, bruv.
And I think we criticise Wan-Bissaka, yeah, but it doesn't help that Dan James didn't really help him. Because Wan-Bissaka did have Mason Mount coming inside kind of thing. And then you also had Marcus Alonso, who's very good at in the wing-back role, overlapping him. So, just didn't help Wan-Bissaka at all.
But this is it, though. And that's why it's important to also, let me get this up again. It's important to look at average positions when we're also judging people's numbers and their performances. Because, bro, as much as Wan-Bissaka's game wasn't the best, yeah, like, for large parts of the season, he's been patrolling that right-hand side all by himself, bro. And because he's good, yeah, we just expect him to just do it with minimal fuss all the time. But actually, it's not right, bro. It's not right. There's no system there, bro. And the funny thing is with Luke Shaw as well, yeah, as average as he is, yeah, at least he's consistently average, bro. You know what I mean? At least he's consistently average. And it's getting to the point now where people are like, oh, we missed Luke Shaw. That shows you, yeah, how poor our fullbacks have been to the point where we're missing someone who's consistently average, because at least when you're consistently average, you're consistent, innit? Right now, we had Fosu Mensah there on the left side, then we had Brad Williams, yeah? And I know he's young, and everyone's saying, yeah, like he's young and give him time and all that. That's cool, innit? Like, you see, when you're playing in big boy men's football, yeah, we can't wrap you in cotton wool, bro. Once you're in the first team, you're a first team player, innit? That's just how it is.
I think regarding the Luke Shaw thing, we actually did miss it. Because we literally had 3 centre-backs yesterday. I know what Luke Shaw's not going to play wing-back, so it's literally going to be that left centre-back role. If you looked at Azpilicueta yesterday, he was playing that right centre-back role, but look how many times he actually overlapped, reshaped. Yeah. He got the assist for the Giroud goal, for the first one.
Yeah, but also I think that's down to Chelsea's system. Like, as Lampard said, he said that he worked on it not being a 5 at the back. Yeah. I don't think he had any intentions of it not being a 5. Do you know what I'm saying? I think that's down to the manager's attitude. I honestly don't think, yeah, it would have made a difference in terms of attacking. Luke Shaw wouldn't have gone too far forward, because he doesn't tend to anyway, bro. Especially not in this system, bro. Like, on average, Wan-Bissaka's average position is a lot higher up than Luke Shaw's on a game-to-game basis. So if Wan-Bissaka barely got out of his half, I don't see Luke Shaw getting further forward. I just think that the tone of the game was set by the manager.
And regarding the 5 at the back, we literally have, it's not like I think Chelsea used to play this a couple of years ago, but they had Fabregas in the midfield, who's literally a very good creator. We have Fred and Matic in front of the back five. Yeah. They're not unbelievable creators. They're not unbelievable on the ball like Fabregas is. So it literally is a 7 at the back.
Yep. 4. Lindelof, 93.9% pass accuracy, which is considerably better than his partners. 84 touches, 75% aerial duels won, which is definitely better than 50. You know what I'm saying? He got 4 out of 8 long balls completed, 6 times lost possession, 6 ball recoveries, but no tackles and no interceptions. But he got 6 ball recoveries. So again, outshone Harry Maguire. Again, you know what I mean? It seems to be a familiar song we've been singing recently, bro.
I think what surprised me was with Giroud, he literally was on Maguire and not Lindelof. So as much as we criticise Lindelof for being bad in the air, Giroud targeted Maguire, who's meant to be the best centre back at the club in the air. So that just says a lot for me.
But I think that Lindelof's quicker, innit? And I think that Giroud kind of thought, you know what, I can pin Harry Maguire, innit? I can pin him. And that's what it is. With Lindelof, I think even though Lindelof's weaker, I think even if Lindelof doesn't win the header, also the second ball, Lindelof's probably going to get there quicker than Maguire, innit? And you always have to look at strikers, innit? When a striker targets a certain player, bruv, that says what you need to say, innit? We can say all we want about who's better out of the two of them, who's good, who's rubbish, but usually the strikers always pick the vulnerable players or the players they feel are vulnerable. And he clearly targeted Harry Maguire. And before the game, I said, oh, no, Harry Maguire will be physically strong enough to deal with Giroud. He wasn't. He wasn't. It surprised me. It did surprise me. I have to hold my hands up to that because I said it in the game in a pre-match with Louis. I said, you know what? Maguire has got a lot of things wrong with his game, but his physicality is not one of them. You should be able to handle Giroud. He didn't. And even Giroud's goal, I think it was Maguire he got across on the front post, wasn't it? No, actually, it was Lindelof, and then Maguire scored the own goal.
For the real goal.
Yeah. I think he scored the own goal, innit? The Maguire own goal. But I thought Giroud got a touch on that, but it was Maguire. Like that's what I mean. It's a mad thing. He got across Lindelof, and then I think for the OG, he got across someone as well. And I think he got across Harry, and Harry went to block it and then scored the own goal. Because I think it was
Rudiger who got in front of Maguire.
Yeah, Rudiger got ahead of him because I thought Rudiger scored it in real time. So I didn't realize it was an own goal until.
And it says, Maguire's getting pulled out by a centre back. It's not even like great striker's movement from Giroud or something.
Bruv, listen, he just had a stinker. He had a stinker.
And with Maguire, it's an interesting one now because as soon as we bought Harry Maguire, once you're spending £80 million, you do expect him to have that Van Dijk impact. You expect him to be the first choice and then Lindelof and Bains to rotate around him. Yeah. And Maguire is literally looking at he should be the second/third choice, and we need someone else to be that mainstay in the defence.
There you go. Well, this is the problem, innit? And that's why I said buy in centre backs for partnerships. If you've decided that Lindelof's going to be your number 2, you don't buy Harry Maguire as the number 1 because they don't complement each other. Yeah. So that means there was no thought process into buying Harry Maguire other than he's a good centre back. He's got some of the best numbers in the league. We'll just buy him. He didn't think about partnership. It didn't make sense.
Even for the last couple of years, it's kind of been like, for me, look, Manchester City are interested in this player. He must be good. Because we've done that with Maguire. We've done that with Fred. We've done that with Alexis.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like we're literally hoping other people's scouting networks work for us.
Yeah. And they have systems and we don't.
Yeah.
Now, Harry Maguire would have been all right at Man City because they have loads of the ball. And Harry Maguire is overrated on the ball. People think he's great on the ball. He ain't that great on the ball. Lindelof's better on the ball than him.
Yeah.
So is flipping Eric Bailly as well, bro. Eric Bailly is probably the most comfortable out of all of our defenders on the ball, bro. You know what I mean? Like, bro, man's doing flicks, Cruyff turns and that. Eric Bailly can play. He's just made of glass.
I think he looks unorthodox on the ball, but some players just have that style about them. Like, if you look at Joel Matip at Liverpool, he doesn't look brilliant technically on the ball. But he's actually a very good ball-playing centre-back.
Yeah. But this is it. You know what I mean? It doesn't look amazing from Bailly, but bro, like, you know what I mean? He's composed. He's good on the ball, innit? And he'll distribute it with both feet. He doesn't have the range of passing that Maguire does. Neither does Lindelof. But they're both more comfortable on the ball than him, bro. Like, he looks clumsy, bro.
And even with the long ball thing, like we said it last time, Maguire's long balls are not effective compared to Alderweireld and Van Dijk.
They're not, bro. Like, man pings like 30-yard diags to the touchline and then man get tackled or it goes out for a throw, and they're stupid, isn't it? Like, I think because he's built the way he is and he tries to play the right way, people overrate his ball skills. They're very, very basic. I mean, as we were saying, he's no better than Johnny Evans. Johnny Evans is good on the ball as well.
I think with Johnny Evans, we're seeing it now. Look at Leicester last year. Johnny Evans was still in it and Harry Maguire left. This year, Soyuncu's here, but Johnny Evans is still the mainstay in that defence.
Yeah.
So Johnny Evans must be doing something right. I think people just need to open their eyes that Johnny Evans is probably actually better than Maguire now.
Yeah, 100%, bro. I see man still arguing that Smalling's better than Maguire, and you know what, yeah? At least with Chris Smalling, you know what you get in it. In terms of attacking the ball, I don't know what their numbers are like, but I know that Chris Smalling's good at attacking the ball. So I'm assuming that their aerial duels, will be quite similar. Chris Smalling's got very good recovery pace. He was one of the quickest players at the club before he left, didn't it? And brother, I honestly think that if we had Chris Smalling in there, we wouldn't be doing any worse, bro.
Yeah, I think I did a comparison a couple weeks ago about Maguire and Smalling, like Smalling last year, and the numbers are kind of similar.
See, and again, I haven't even seen the numbers, bro. That's just going off here what I know their strengths are, isn't it? And that's what I mean. Sometimes you don't need to see players playing together to know that either someone's good or someone's not good, or how effective some people are. Sometimes you can just see it, innit? Like, for what Harry Maguire offers, yeah. When I look at players, I always say, what are these guys good at? When I look at Harry Maguire, apart from winning headers, I don't see him as good at anything, bro. He plays like a centre back that's got pace, but he doesn't have pace. His position is not amazing.
I think if you're just looking at just the numbers alone, he is better than Lindelof in every single area. But what I always say to that is that if you actually watch the game, this is what I like to say. Maguire's an aggressive centre-back. Lindelof's a passive centre-back. So every single time you see Maguire coming forward, stepping forward, trying to get the ball, with Lindelof, it's clever sometimes. Just back off a bit and just work your way from there. Hope you get the second ball. Not every single time you have to commit. And that's what Maguire does. And that's what leaves him exposed so many times.
Exactly. But when you commit and you don't have pace to recover, it's a dangerous game. And that's why I say he plays like a quick player. Because Smalling's aggressive. He likes to attack the ball. But if Smalling don't win the first ball, he's got a chance of getting the second one because he's quick. And this is just what it is. And last but not least, Pastor Frederick, bro, he was getting a lot of stick. But actually, I thought that he was quite competent yesterday. But again, competent ain't going to be enough against a Chelsea team that will keep in the ball like that. 55 minutes played, 88.9% pass accuracy, 40 touches, 2 from 3 on long balls, 2 from 2 from dribbles completed. There was a nice little dribble that he done on the right-hand side as well, that he went through a few players and won a foul. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, he got good low center of gravity. I like him, man. Good feet, 8 from 11 ground duels, 1. Only lost the ball 4 times, 1 4 fouls, 2 tackles, dribble pass twice, 1 clearance, bro. Like, the numbers look good. I thought he played all right, but again, isolation, bro. When men are playing so deep, but midfield's getting overrun, Bruno's playing as a number 9, as he does. Do you know what I mean? And then Nemanja Matic just looked out of sorts yesterday. It was like Fred was trying to hold the fort on his own.
I think when Nemanja Matic yesterday, I thought he was hiding.
Yeah,
like,
he was.
He didn't want the ball. With Fred, at least, yeah, he might get the ball away sometimes, even though yesterday he only gave the ball away 4 times. But at least he always wants it. He always tries to pass forward. You could see he wants to win the game kind of thing.
Yeah. Absolutely spot on, bro. And this is the thing, and that's the thing. You see with players like Fred, players like Pogba that always want the ball, even Bruno you can add Bruno to that. You see players, yeah, that always want the ball no matter what, even when it's not going well for them, you can play for me, bro. You know them ones. I love them kind of players. Players like McTominay hides. Matic hides. Dan James hides. And that's why another thing with Jesse Lingard. Even when he's not playing well, Jesse still wants the ball. He'll still run around and show for it. And then he'll lose it, but he'll keep running, innit? At least he shows, innit? And players that hide, they're liabilities, bro, in big games like that, man. And I just feel like yesterday wasn't a game for people that were going to hide, innit?
And I think credit where it's due to Fred. We knew Chelsea were going to press. So normally we do say when teams press Fred, it's a bit harder for him. I think Troy Deeney said it after the Watford game, where it's like they targeted Fred when he had the ball. Because sometimes when Fred keeps the ball a lot, he has a lot of touches, but that's because he always wants to pass forward kind of thing. And I think against Chelsea, we did see Marcus Alonso, Kovacic, Jorginho all kind of press together in a shape. And Fred, credit where due, he tried playing past the press kind of thing.
Bro, if there was better movement in front of Fred would be a very effective player because he tries to pass forward, he can distribute with both feet, and he's very good on the press and the counter press. So, like people that don't understand the qualities that Fred has, is because he's not even in. I was gonna say he's in a crap system. He's not even in a system.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why I rate his performances even more because there were times in the first half of the season where Fred was just turning up and he was one of the only players playing well.
And you've seen it with the numbers. Like, if we just look at the numbers, he has better numbers than Henderson, and he's in the Player of the Year conversation. So it shows Fred is a good player. We just haven't helped him at all.
Absolutely. If you put Fred in that Manchester City midfield or that Liverpool midfield, people are eulogizing about it.
Yeah, people forget that. People forget that Pep Guardiola actually wanted him as a long-term Fernandinho replacement. So there is a player in there.
Bro,
and he can play in the DM role.
I'll always back him because I know there's a player in there. Do you know what I mean? But again, he's one of the easy scapegoats with the club, innit? Like on Twitter, that everyone wants to get on Fred. As soon as, bro, Harry's out there throwing up disaster classes, bro, and there wasn't too much really spoken about him. De Gea got a pamming yesterday online, rightly so. I think a few of us called De Gea has been finished for a while. Do you know what I mean? When I said that we shouldn't give him the new contract, a lot of people got onto me. But I saw this coming, innit? I questioned his attitude, and then we got an article coming out the other day from his ex-goalkeeping coach, basically alluding to the fact that De Gea's attitude ain't correct, but which we kind of already knew.
Like, Van Gaal said that.
Yeah. But there you go. Van Gaal dropped him. Like, people like to conveniently forget certain things, and they say, oh, he's been a great servant to the club, or this, that, and the other. That doesn't change the facts, bro. Van Gaal dropped him.
People keep saying it's bad form. It's 18 months now. He cost us top 4 last week. It's not. He can't be formed now.
And he could cost us top 4 this time as well. Because boy, if Antonio is playing like Giroud, bruv, and he's got Maguire on toast, bruv, it's a bad thing.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying. We have to drop De Gea against West Ham.
I'd say so. I want to see Romero for the rest of the season, then I want to see Henderson coming in the summer. Yeah. For me, I wouldn't play De Gea again, bruv, till the end of the season. I wouldn't play him again because Romero is our Europa League goalkeeper anyway.
And he was an FA Cup goalkeeper as well.
Exactly. There you go. So I wouldn't play De Gea again for the rest of the season if that was me. Guys, let us know in your comments as well, in the comment section regarding the De Gea incident. Where are you? What side of the fence are you on? Are you done with him like I am? And I'm sure Statman's done with him as well, bro. You know what I mean? Or do you lot still think that we should give De Gea another chance, man? Big up for watching. Obviously, the ads at the bottom of the screen. Make sure you follow Statman Bains. That's my guy, bro, for all the numbers. Do you know what I mean? When man's chatting shit, man, I like to just pull the numbers out, just shut people up. You know them ones, bro. Let them know where they can find you, bro.
Just at Statman Bains on Instagram. That's basically it.
Go. That's it. Big up for tuning in, guys, bro. And we'll catch you again after the next game.